Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with a Star Wars discussion video. As most of you out there know, I love me some Star Wars, and so you'd think the announcement of a brand new Star Wars show this past week would have me at least somewhat giddy, but that was not the case as Star Wars Resistance was announced. What is Star Wars Resistance? Let's get into that before I talk about my thoughts on the Star Wars universe as a whole. Disney has found its next animated Star Wars TV show, an anime-inspired adventure series called Star Wars Resistance. Created by Star Wars Rebels showrunner Dave Filoni, the new project will focus on Kazuda Xiono, a young pilot recruited by the Resistance and tasked with a top-secret mission to spy on the growing threat of the First Order. Now, I know a lot of people out there have their own respective issues with the Star Wars universe, whether it's something with The Last Jedi, the new era of Star Wars, the prequels. There's probably some issue out there. This is my personal issue, and I'd like to talk about it in a video with you guys, get your thoughts on it, and have a discussion start rolling. So I look at the premise for Star Wars Resistance. It's yet another young, new rebel hero who's going to come in and likely become the savior of the day. There was also just Star Wars Rebels, which recently wrapped up, and I'd heard some good things about this show. Prior to that was Star Wars The Clone Wars, which I absolutely loved, I'll admit. I mean, can we talk about Season 1, Episode 5? Holy shit! That episode has always stuck with me, but regardless, I don't want to get off track. If you've noticed a trend with all of these, it's always about the good guy. It's always about the people rising against the Empire, the Sith. And even the one time we had a chance to shake things up, we look at Star Wars Battlefront 2, a story that was supposed to be about the Inferno Squadron, the Empire. And spoiler alert, so if you have not played Battlefront 2 story and you don't want to have it ruined for you, then you can shut off this video now and play that 3 or 4 hour campaign if it behooves you. But instead of actually sticking to their guns and telling an Empire story, they instead make Iden Versio come to the Rebel side of things in a very forced nature nonetheless. And I'm not going to get off on a tangent about Battlefront 2. I've made multiple videos about its story, but what I'm saying is there is a common trend in all these Star Wars material. We have the main movies, which are about the rebellion versus the Empire. We have shows about it. We have games about it. I think the only way we escape this is the books and comics scene, which is actually pretty excellent for Star Wars. But this is where I start to struggle to care about Star Wars, not because of an oversaturation, which I think is something I've seen a lot of people have an issue with, is there's so much Star Wars. We're getting the Solo movie this year. We're seeing tons of games and shows. I get why people might think it's getting oversaturated. Personally, I've been without Star Wars for so long that I'm ready for an onslaught of Star Wars, and I'm enjoying that. But I'd like to see different takes on it. One of the best things about the onslaught of Star Wars in the early 2000s was when they were changing it up, telling different stories in the universe, like the game you're seeing in the background, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. I can put money on it. You will never see a game like this nowadays. There is no risk-taking with this license. It's all about staying in the safe space of the Resistance, the Rebellion, and not going outside those borders and trying to tell a different story. And admittedly, there have been some stories I have enjoyed, such as Rogue One, and it's not like any of these shows are bad or Resistance will be bad. It's more so that I look at this and go, again? Really? Like, do any of these creators get tired of talking about the same Resistance Rebellion things and want to do something else? That's personally what I feel is the biggest issue with the Star Wars universe right now. I embrace the new Star Wars content, but I can't say that I'm very excited about this constant retreading of the same ground. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Am I alone on this issue? Do you guys like more Rebel storylines? I'd love to know your thoughts, so fire away, ladies and gentlemen. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content we create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.